Section 4, the Stamp Act. After fighting the French and Indian War, Great Britain needed money to pay its debts. In 1765, to raise money, Parliament passed a new law called the Stamp Act. The Stamp Act said that the colonists had to pay a tax on printed papers. Newspapers, pamphlets, marriage licenses, and playing cards were taxed. When a colonist paid the tax, an official would mark the printed paper with a large stamp. The new tax angered the colonists for multiple reasons. They did not want to pay more money for things they used every day, and they also did not want to pay another tax to the British government. But they were mostly angry because they had no say in making the law. They said that this taxation without representation was unfair. Colonists showed their anger in many ways. Some colonists refused to buy the stamps while others protested in the streets and town squares. And some tried to scare off the tax collectors. At times, groups of colonists even attacked the tax collectors and their homes. Groups from different colonies joined together in protest against the Stamp Act, and in some colonies, merchants agreed not to buy any British goods. Many women, such as the Daughters of Liberty in Rhode Island, refused to buy British cloth. They wove their own cloth instead. In October 1765, 9 colonists sent delegates to a special gathering in New York. This meeting became known as the Stamp Act Congress. The delegates thought that all British subjects had a right to vote on taxes through representatives, but the colonies had no representatives in Parliament, so the delegates said that it was unfair for Parliament to pass laws like the Stamp Act. To them, such laws were an example of taxation without representation. The colonists' angry protest surprised King George III and Parliament. However, British leaders knew that they could not force the colonists to obey the Stamp Act. In March 1766, Parliament repealed the law, but Parliament let the colonies know that it still believed in its right to tax them. In 1767, Parliament again passed tax laws to raise money from the colonies. These laws, called the Townshend Acts, taxed several goods that the colonies imported. These goods included lead, glass, paint, paper, and tea. In protest, the colonies stopped buying British goods.